Excellent. Well, welcome. Today is Monday, August 11th, and weekly open, right? A lot of things pushed some highs, a lot of things didn't. We'll start with USDTD. We had a very interesting open here because in reality, we actually swept these lows and we opened below them on the week. But now the daily just flipped, which is exactly sort of what I wanted and expected, right? This was effectively just the fill of this daily, which we did not tap. We swept it, effectively orange, just kind of moved this up maybe just a tad. Some sort of rejection, right? Bounce. I want to see some sort of consolidation here to the 3.5, which is going to be a retracement. So retracement right into some of the other OTE levels on like some longs, right? If you were long from earlier, great, take profits, do all that jazz. But now I would be cautious with longs. I would either be trimming, I'd be moving your stops up, I would be looking for shorts this week on the weekly, because if this week closes above this white line, guys, it's bad news. Bad news for the bulls, because then we're going to fill out this daily right here at the 4.3, right? So some small consolidation here. I want to see two things. I want to see 4.35 tapped, and then I want to see the reaction, the rejection from the 4.35 if we want to retain a bullish bias on the high time frame. So one thing to note here is that this is incredibly thin liquidity, and we never actually tapped. There's two spots, right? Which is a little weird. The way this daily is set, there's really two spots we could bounce from and long from. And right now, we either bounce and long from 4.38, and honestly, no matter what chart it is you're looking at, like Burrett, you just asked for LDO, no matter what chart you're looking at, all of them, every single one of them is going to have the exact same signature of these two levels, right? But they're going to be different price points. Really, it's either the 4.35 or the 4.62. So keeping it simple, guys, nothing crazy here. The retrace that we're going to get is either the retrace to consolidate to 4.35 or the retrace to 4.62. So another reason why I just updated, if you saw, I updated my C98 limits. Basically by proxy, the limits are these two levels, right? And if you're looking for longs, I would wait for reaction at one of these two levels before you start longing again. Otherwise, trail your profits, whatever, and go from there. But really now I would expect to have a consolidation bearish, a consolidation bullish where we basically move down in price, but we move down to high time frame long levels. So really just a matter of the next week or two, we see something like that. Again, once this week closes above 4.2, that'll confirm. But for now, I'm just going to chill, wait, hold on to what you have. If you have longs, great, trail your profits and go from there. So let's go from Bitcoin, and then we'll dig into each one by one here. So one thing with Bitcoin here too is we did literally the entire time, like since July, we've been fighting over this one like the point of interest at 118. And my bias here is really once we do a weekly break of one, which we sort of did, we did a closure below, and now we're doing a closure above. I would say this is kind of like a seek and destroy model. There's nothing bullish about this, to be honest, guys, on the high time frame. There's nothing bullish about this structure. Everything is telling me this is a seek and destroy in the sense that we're taking out liquidity to the downside and then either reconsolidating or sweeping the highs for a break to the lows, right? So I am not trading Bitcoin right now, but if I was, I would honestly just be shorting it from here. I'll be honest, I would be shorting it from here because as soon as this monthly candle closes, if we can't take the high on this monthly, we're going to go back on the monthly down to 110, right? And it's going to be a flat open on the monthly. So that's 20 days from now. If we can't clear this in 20 days, we're going straight down to 110. Now, if we bounce at 110, great. If not, if we reconsolidate under 115 and 118, guess what's going to happen? It's going to go straight back down to 100, right? So really high consolidation here. Bitcoin to me has zero ROI, for like terrible ROI here to long or short. So I've been focusing on other things. Even Ethereum, kind of a little similar. We just cleared the relative equal highs. I'll clear that up a little bit. We closed above, so this is actually a little bullish. And then if we take from this range on the OTE there, we invalidated bearish, right? We invalidated the bearish structure on the weekly. So now the question is, can we take this month up above 4.2? If we can close above 4.2, then we'd be flipping that. However, this weekly is also running out of steam. So on the lower time frames, it's like very balanced. So I would also not long or short it. But I would wait at this point for it to either do one of two things. Either we reconsolidate and then retest 3,700, 39 to 3,700 for a clean long, or we take the high first and then possibly retrace under 50.49, right? So not really touching ETH either. Its range is a little weird here. Low time frames, maybe you can scalp, but like it's just too iffy for me to do anything for ETH right now. So I've not really been focused on ETH too much. But let's see. There's a few others that have a really good structure. I just been adding hype long or hype short. This structure, even if we push up, cleared the high, it's already confirmed weekly as bearish, and we have closures back in range. So either teal or orange is going to play out, where we reconsolidate under 35, break these equal lows, and then have the weekly break to the long bias under 20, or we wick again, take the 50, and in that case, honestly, I'm going to go negative on this position and actually add to it heavily if we do that. So my soft stop right now is basically like a consolidation above 54, with the expectation that I would basically be adding until the next monthly closure underneath under 44. So hype is a good one. Simple, easy, just keep holding, nothing different there. And then BTC also very bearish on actually. And one of the things here, same thing with XRP, very bearish on. We confirmed the 8-hour range here. We closed back in the weekly. Even a reconsolidation under 3.2 is bearish. I'm going to pick this up probably on a short this week as well. Low leverage, probably like a 15-10x. Consolidation stop of 3.8. I'm not calling this. I mean, I'm calling this on my channel, but I'm also calling this live to you guys, which I will probably pick up in the next, few hours here, maybe after the stream. But even if we push the highs again to 3.4, we already have weekly closures. So consolidation here also bearish. And we never, XRP, look at this, look at that wick, never hit 1.592, never. So this was never bullish to begin with. This is not a sustained bullish move. I would probably say the weekly on XRP will bring us back down to under 1.5, weekly and quarterly. I'm not going to be bullish until I see this under 1.5 again. So I'm going to probably take that as well. I'm going to probably call that out sometime today, and we'll go from there. So that's a lot of words, but feel free to post any coins you have in chat as well. I'll go over some that I've been watching and I posted about already. Mavia, we are in Mavia, right? If you guys have been following me, I've took Mavia from over here. We're in at about 1.5, so pretty good profits. We already broke this range. We have no reason to go lower at this point. No reason, absolutely no reason. So I canceled these limits. I'm gonna ride this. This is again a 4,000 percenter, which I told you about, guys, last week. For those of you who weren't here last week, I did mention it. I say 4,000% because if you look at this, this is the 1,000%. Once we clear this range on the daily, I'm going to retake this on the monthly. And if we take this to the monthly range after clearing that, this is a relative equal low on the daily. This is going to end up going probably to the range balance on the monthly, right? So this will be a 5.5. That's a 4,000% move, guys, right? And again, you're not going to get 4,000% moves overnight. You got to have patience, right? They don't happen overnight. So if you're not patient, you're not going to get those big gains. So again, I'm in right now from 1.5. I'm going to hold this. I didn't move my stop yet because honestly, if we do sweep, I don't want to see a wick happen like this, which is completely valid too. But I will add at this point, if we close this week above 21, I will actually add it on any sweeps after that. So holding from there as well. Nothing too crazy. And then what else? And then yeah, XCH, the big ones I've been watching, XCH and CSPR, slow movers, guys. But again, if you are not patient, you are not going to get big gains. Period. End of sentence. I don't care what anyone says. But this is right now bearish, right? Right now bearish. But that's another reason why, guys, I posted on my channel a limit right here. This is going to be a compound order. I am in from 9.38. So my yellow roughly is my average. If we go back into entry, I'm going to double my position size. So I have about, like almost 4K roughly. So I'm going to double that. No, sorry, 2K. I'm going to double that to 4K. And this is I'm running a 2K. So basically, I'm going to have a 200% margin allocation on this one as well. 200%. So leveraged, right? Leveraged against my portfolio. This is the same thing that's going to happen with a lot of these coins that are actually having their high time frame quarterly SMRs being held. We closed not only, look at this, right? I'll just repeat it one more time for those of you who are thick-brained, and I know some people out there, not saying you guys, but I'm saying because you guys are smart, but the people who aren't watching and the people who don't realize these things and look at a chart like this and be like, oh, it's just going down. Well, I just say zoom out, right? Zoom out. The weekly, the monthly, the quarterly, these are how you get the big moves, right? We have a daily quadruple equal low we took, and we have a daily, weekly, high time frame SMR. This is not a move that's going to happen overnight. This is a move that's going to have basically a God candle like this, but sometime in the future, right? So now is the time to accumulate. So with this one, even this first leg up is going to be a 250% move. And that's a conservative estimate, honestly, guys. It could be 20, 20 to 30, but like 200 to 500% is kind of my conservative average here. So I want to double my size, have a 200% margin allocation at 915, and then ride this sucker basically all the way up to new all-time high, because as soon as we make a closure on the weekly, anywhere above $12, we're never going to see under $10 in our lifetimes ever again. Period. End of sentence. So to me, that's worth the investment. I'm going to just keep going heavy on this one. My limit order is already in at 915, and then we'll jump into some of the other ones. So CSPR, another big one. Same thing. This is a quarterly gap that we're flipping, a quarterly, right? This is a high time frame gap that it's already made 2 higher lows on. You can see I marked them out, 2 higher lows. And we've consolidated with relative equal highs on the high. Look at this. These are orders that are short orders with stop losses right there. Guess what's going to happen when those massive, massive stop losses get hit? Price is going to run through this faster than you can, do anything, right? Faster than you can do anything. So again, now is the time. I'm accumulating heavy. This is another play. I'm putting in roughly 200 to 400% margin allocation on my portfolio on, and I'm going to just keep accumulating. I called this out in my channel roughly around 10. So yeah, my average is about yellow right now at the yellow level. I have a limit to add at the 10795 as well. So I'm going to keep accumulating. I expect this SMR to hold. We do not go below 1 cent after this point, right? If we do not make, if we continue to make a higher low on the next wick, which is what I'm expecting on the weekly candle here, and then close anywhere above 0.11, this daily is going to start playing out, guys. And I want to try and bring this up to like 600, maybe 800% of my margin allocation, because after that point, it is going to basically just fly beyond anything you could possibly think of. Every coin, I guarantee you, every coin you're thinking about, maybe Arrow, I'll say maybe Arrow is going to not as do the numbers for the coins I'm giving you guys. So don't sleep on this. So cool. I'll go through some of the requests you guys have. Let's do LDO. LDO looks pretty good. I think last I checked, we did break into range here. Let's check the quarterly real quick. Top down. Right here. Yes. Okay, cool. We flipped that quarterly. What else we got? Not much there, but this is actually a good range already. We got those equal lows here. These are also going to move really nicely. I'd like the weekly to retest there. We flipped that. Possibly a little higher. Possibly a little higher on the weekly here. So just from like a spot check, our new POI is 1.4 on the weekly, but we just broke this range, right? We just broke this range on the weekly. So we want to see possibly one more reconsolidation to the highs. It is not guaranteed though. Again, I would not long or short this yet. This is too early because we literally just went into a daily gap here as well. Let me mark that up. And we are invalidating it. So I'll put that here. Right? Yeah, look at that. This is bearish. If we close under on the daily. So honestly, this is one of those where we have to wait. You have to wait. The previous low you could range from would be either the 60 cents or the 83. So from there, structure wise, I'd want to see either us flipping, and this is again the same thing. Sorry, I was getting a phone call. My headphones glitched out. This is the same thing with many things. We basically broke this range, and either we retain the range and flip it right here with the possible bounce and then a rejection, or we then reconsolidate to the lows, sweep them first, and then close above. So this is, again, too early to say. LDO, the move has happened with LDO, right, with this range alone. But like everything breaks and retests. So we broke this range. Now it's a matter of waiting for the daily retest. I would say one of these two still needs to play out. It's too early to say. I'm not going to propose any setup here quite yet, but it's a good one to watch, I will say, from here. Good one to watch for sure. So I'll keep that one up. Hopefully that's helpful. This is like, again, bias on this would be very neutral. I'm not going to retain a bias on this one because we literally just broke into new ranges here. So sorry, Bird. I know that's like a very move. Okay, so move. This one is actually retaining its high time frame bullish structure, and then I want to probably add a little bit more. I got in a little too early, but structure retained itself, right? I think my average is like 15 or something, somewhere up here, maybe. I entered in this red wick. I got really happy, but because I'm like, I love to see red wicks and I long them, and then I see green wicks and I short them. So I'm sure like most people, but maybe it's just me. But yes, in terms of the level, I would say, again, same thing, fairly neutral. I want to see a reconsolidation back below orange. We don't necessarily need to. That's another reason why I'm holding the long, basically just not changing it. But if we do break the low at 13, I want to see the reaction here and expect the wick to dip into 1340, and then possibly under 12. If we get under 12, or sorry, under 13, if we get under 13, then I'll take an ad. If not, I'm just going to hold and wait. But this already looks like an SMR now. So now really what we want to see is we want to see some higher low be put in. We have one tiny one on the 4-hour, but I want to see one on the daily, right? We don't have one on the daily quite yet. So right here, I would expect some sort of sweep. We put in a higher low from here, and then go from there. But another thing with this one is this does have a daily flat down here, right? So I'm actually hedging this with some short exposure because in reality, this is the same thing, right? We could bounce here or we could bounce here at the 11. Another reason why I don't want to add to this position, another reason why I don't want to close it, and another reason why I don't want to put limits on, right? All three of these scenarios would mean that I'm taking on more risk without seeing the actual reaction at those levels. So in this case, holding is probably the best bet with regards to where we are now and how structure is built out. Holding and hedging is probably the best bet from here, right? So I'm going to keep that going, but I want to see a reaction at those two levels, or one of those two levels, really. Okay, Taz, A0. I'll get this one. A0. I have been holding this for months. I have not closed it. It has not invalidated. It has not invalidated at all. Even though I got in early, this is a conviction play. I got in basically all the way up here in May, and I averaged down twice. Did not close it. The low time frame structure never actually tapped this daily, even when we went up, right? I would expect something to happen where we reclaim ranges sometime later this year. Oh, sorry, later this month. Not now, but later this month, right? But it's been holding these OTE levels. It actually made one higher low just recently, or no, it made a one more sweep of the low recently, which is great. Three sweeps is like great. I want to see that. That's an AMD structure. So for me, I'm going to just keep holding. It's building a floor. That's all it's doing. It's building a floor. So I'm going to hold it. I have a magnet for effects, right? I like joking around here, right? Magnet, price is a magnet. It's going to magnetize. It's just a matter of waiting. And I have all the patience in the world. No one can outpatient me. I guarantee you guys. Maybe you guys can. I haven't met a trader who can outpatient me. I've held trades for months, sometimes longer, and only to get profits in the end, right? Cool. So I'll do poll on ARB. Actually, ARB was a first request here. Let's do ARB. Oh no, I'm sorry, Melania, Taz. You guys requested Melania. I'll do that one first. Cool. So Melania. Also, some people would look at this chart and be like, it's not going anywhere. Well, guess what, guys? You got to look at the fine details. Just like when you get a contract, right? No one looks at the small print or anything, but I like to look at that small print because you could be signing your soul away. And in this case, Melania is signing her soul away to us. If you're long, I'm actually not long on my primary account, but I'm going to be long probably soon. We already flipped this as well. Same thing. We could sweep this low at 20. Or we could flip this as well here. I would honestly expect one of, I'm going to adjust these levels really. It's basically something like this. We have one more level to sweep, but we are flipping this range already. This weekly right here, if we can't close under yellow this week, then this is going to go up to the nearest weekly, which is at 60 cents, right? So we have, look at this, we're already above yellow, right? We're above yellow right now. So if we can stay and consolidate here, or even if we can sweep it and close above yellow, then all we're going to do is go straight up to 60 cents on the next move. This is going to be a pretty big impulse move as well. But yeah, also pretty good. I might start adding into this on my primary, but it's looking good as well. Let's see what else. I have let me put alert. I think that my alert here on this is a 30-minute less than. So yeah, if we sweep those lows and then reconsolidate, then maybe that would work. I'm going to do another one on the hourly right under this previous low here. Right there, 21. So the magic is between these two yellows here, somewhere in here. we either do this and then bounce from there, or we go a little further and then bounce from there. So yellow or teal. But this is also neutral, right? Everything open neutral on the weekly. So literally every chart, as I said, showing very similar structure to me. We either consolidate and retrace slightly lower one more time, or we do a full sweep and we sweep the previous low, but then end up wicking, right, and closing above on the weekly. So if you're doing longs or aiming for longs, I would keep your stop wide, or you would keep your alerts kind of tight with where you're entering from, right? So in this case, I'm going to do an alert on the closure from the 1 hour here, less than. Here we go, perfect. And this will be a good pickup once we break this range as well. I'll take that as well. And then let's go through a few of the other ones. I'll try and do some rapid fire here. So ARB, since there's a lot of requests now. I drew up ARB for you guys all the way back in June, and look at that, sort of following, right? I'm going to delete this, right? We did a sweep that low, we reconsolidated, we pushed the high. Now I'm going to clear this up a little bit. We've made an equal high right there. Daily 8 hour equal high, and then the daily never tapped. So really the consolidation now is from this low, assuming this is our new higher low. This is the mitigation block on the daily to flip. Then yeah, I would basically expect between, it's the same thing. Yeah, geez, like literally everything is this exact same. Here's our path, right? We do a reconsolidation to the low at 39 and then sweep high, or we do a reconsolidation and sweep 34, right? One here, 34, and then sweep high from there, right? So one of the two as well. Basically between the two yellows is the entry point. So I would still wait on a lot of these. This is neutral still. Daily is neutral, 8 hours neutral as well. We just market structure broke. We do have this high right here. That's the one that I'd be most interested in. But we still need to consolidate at least under 42 cents on ARB before we do make another move. And yeah, the sweep, depending on the impulse of that, we either bounce at the 41 cents area, like under 41 cents, or we bounce at the 34 cents area. So if you want to set your alerts on those, that's probably fine. Basically neutral bearish consolidation for a bullish impulse, probably by the end of the month, right? Cool. What else we got? Let's do this quick. Do you think ETH could go back to 4170? Great question. Same thing I'm saying with everything. This is incredibly weird of a spot. I cannot get a good read on ETH here at all. It's been pushing. It pushed this high, never reconsolidated bullish. It never retested previous range balances here for a sustained bullish move. So all of this is just an actual like vacuum, like a liquidity vacuum. Everything here, everything here, everything here. There's no real support. So price action wise, if we start to close at any point on the daily under 41, I would be very cautious, very, very cautious, because phase two looks like we're just about to exit phase two on the liquidity cycle, where Ethereum just took these 3-week equal highs. So really all we want to see here, I'm going to just clean my entire chart. I'm going to put in a single line. This is it, 4170. If we make a weekly closure under here, this is the only chart, this is the only line I need personally, right there. We either make a weekly closure above this week, and we have 2 weeks to do this, right? Because we opened this candle. We either close above it this week and it confirms, or we close below it either in this week or next week. So there's 2 candles left, right? Because we just opened. So I'm looking for the closure. So I'm going to do a weekly close greater and a weekly close less than. This is going to be the ETH bullish scenario. And then the ETH bearish scenario would be the exact same level. Basically the same thing. I'll put this in orange. For me, this would be a less than, right? Close. This is the ETH bearish, right? But for now, I literally am not going to touch ETH with a 10-foot pole because on the weekly, we just do not have any structure at all. So I'm going to keep waiting on this one still. Even if we go to all-time highs again, it doesn't matter. Guys, don't feel FOMO because even if we go to all-time highs again, guess what? Now we have a triple tap and now we can short it, right? Very clean short. Very, very clean short. So I'm not going to touch it until then. Hopefully that answered your question. Still very, very neutral on ETH. WLD. I'll do WLD because that was also a request as well. I put in sub WLD limits. These are also one of those rock solid limits that we can sweep this low on the weekly. Again, by proxy, there's the two levels that I was referring to on USDTD. We either get the bounce at 99 cents or we sweep this low and get the bounce under 80 cents. Under 90 cents. That's where my limits are. So I have 89, 88, 85. These are rock solid limits. I would expect them to hit if the weekly closes anywhere below this previous block right here. Where's the anchoring? Yeah, purple. So we're already below right now. It's basically right here. This one, well, it's really 1.07. I'll put a little marker right here. Right? 1.07. If we close below that, then I would expect the following weekly to sweep this low, rate it, and then bounce with an impulse on the weekly candle into the following month. So that would be the setup. I have the limits in already. Nothing to do, right? Easy peasy lemon squeezy, guys. Just put them in. Let the price do the work for you. Don't need to chase anything. Usual. Oh, this is cool. I was actually watching Usual like a long time ago, but I never actually took it. And what's funny is, you notice this, guys? I drew this up. No joke. I literally just pulled this chart up right now. I drew this up like in July. And look at that. It's already following my path. I love it. We have all this liquidity we swept here, reconsolidated. And I drew this up on live with you guys, I think back in July, if you recall. And we actually never took this high, which is fine, but we swept the lows first, which is great. I will say, this is pretty good. This is a pretty good structure here. Yes, this is very good. We want to see a consolidation now. This is a very good structure. On the 4-hour, we did sweep the lows. We reclaimed OTEs on the daily. Honestly, this is one of those where even if we retrace a little bit, the actual retrace, you'd probably want to use a soft stop, but just because there's relative equals right down there. I think basically this is, look at those dailies right there. They're so tightly packed on the daily right there, right below 0.6. So honestly, I would expect the same thing to happen with everything else, right? Everything is showing the exact same structure. Either we do this and then we bounce, or we do this and then we bounce. And in both cases now, it's bullish. So yes, I would love this as a long. We're actually almost at the level where I would start looking to add. I would probably say this is perfect right here between 72 and basically adding between 72 with like a soft stop, risk anchored to previous range low, right? The only way to play this one, and like a lot of these alts, is if you have a stop on the previous range low on the high time frame, because we have consolidation here that we've just flipped that's very tightly packed with liquidity, where a wick could actually sweep previous consolidation and still close above range, right? So most of these coins, if you're playing with hard stops on them, you're going to get wicked out if you're putting your stop right here, right? Because market makers know that, and they will take your stop and then run it as far as they can without you, right? So another reason why I want to try and, I mean, I'd probably use a soft stop on this one. Let's say daily. Daily, what do we got here? Wow. Wow. We got nothing. This is like all the way up. We got the closest all the way up at 21 cents on the daily. 8 hour, we have a little bit more. We have some stuff up here, right? So if you want to take partials, that would be good. We have some stuff up here as well. Roughly 21. And then that was wicked through. That was wicked through. Let's see, everything else. Yeah, so really if I was to do anything, it would be these 3 TPs. That's all you need. I might join you. If you're in this right now, this is not too bad. Basically just like layered entries. Layer entries against 7.2 down to 6.4. So right around here. I'll put this in as a single range. So single range here would be 7.2, and then basically between blue, previous range balance roughly around 7.1, and then let's look at the 4 hour. Yeah, roughly the same. Roughly the same. Yeah. So one of these two. It's either yellow or teal. So yeah, very, 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 very good. This one's good. Also, once we get up here, like this is one of those that once you get to 9 cents, it's going to end up flipping, and you'll probably have a second entry. So let me redo this a little bit. So either we do one, I'm going to spend a little bit more time on this one because this one's actually pretty good. Good request here. One, and then the retest of this range here, and then the push. Right, this is going to be a 1, 2, 3. The third one is going to basically bring us to the high. We're creating the first impulse. First impulse, this is going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First impulse could bring us either down there or it could bring us down here. And then the impulse low will actually start here. And then this is going to be the 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this one is going to end up being much more impulsive from there. So something like that I would want to see. I'll just adjust that roughly. We take the highs, we reconsolidate on the range, and then retest this previous range low, and then go straight up to like 22, something like that. So pretty solid here. I'm gonna probably take this. This is good enough to take as well. I'd like this one. I'm gonna do a alert on the 30-minute. I'm gonna run this on alert from the break of 75. So I'll put this in right here. Here we go. Break of 75, I will start to look to enter, because really this is the zone by which we'd want to take the long from. So 30 less than usual long. Great. So I'll push this over slightly. Yeah, and it's going to happen sometime this week. We get an entry. Yeah, it's looking like it. Sometime this week we get an entry. That'll be nice. Wow, guys, good find. Who requested this? Oh, Motorboat, my goat. Motorboat, my goat. You are a goat. You are a goat, Motorboat, my goat. Thank you. This one's good. Perfect. Let's do arrow. Awesome. So I had this charted up as well already, ready to go. We did just confirm bearish for the consolidation. We did break into the highs. This is amazing. I want to see a retest of below $1, guys. This is the high probability long on arrow. Bam. We are going to push this range once we break 1. Push this range right above 1.5 to 2. So I want to see a consolidation here. Sweep all of the long liquidity, and then we can take it higher. Let's clock in a higher low. Let's keep clocking in higher lows, guys. This has just been going. It's been going, right? Let's keep going. So I have an alert already set under $1 for myself, under 94 cents. We take that 94 cents sweep, break it, reconsolidate. I'll start heavy adding in for the push up to $2. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Tangy. Squeeze that lemon. There you go. DEAI. I've never even seen this one, but someone just requested it. Armistan. I think that's how I'm pronouncing your name. Armistan. Cool. And then let's go from here. On the weekly, actually, I've never even looked at this one before, so this is the first time of me seeing it. What the? Oh, wow. It's not too bad. You guys are finding good stuff. Props. Monthly. Look at that monthly. Oh, we're about to flip this weekly. Holy smokes. Look at that right there. Look at that. We're back testing it right now. Look at that. Oh, absolute fire. Absolute fire. We don't need to retrace on this one. We could. We don't need to, but we could. 8 hour, maybe a little bit more. Maybe just a teeny bit. I would expect it to be a wick still, right, on the weekly, right? This weekly we push down, possibly down to like 5.6. So 5.6 is the, let's see, this range right from here. Yeah, oh, that supports it, right? So somewhere in the 5.6 here. So let's go down to the 3 hour. Yeah, look at that. We do this. 5.6, 5.5. Reconsolidate, and then this flip would be the moment we close this weekly here. This is gonna fly, like basically from possibly higher than one of the. It's either this range we're gonna take first or this range we're gonna take first. So if you want to TP it, those would be your TPs, and then you just basically move from this range right there, right? And then we have this monthly that it's probably drawing to up here. But this is pretty tightly packed. So on the lower time frames, not sure. Oh, there's one right here actually. That's pretty good. 3.6. And then a few down here as well once we start entering. DEI also really good. Really, really, really good. Everything's setting up, guys. This is going to be like basically during the fall, right? We're kind of like closer to the end of summer right now, obviously, but like I would expect during the fall, altcoins will be popping off like crazy, And yeah, this looks like one of them, right? Another one that's just simple. And then so for this one, I might just do, let's say 1 hour under. Yeah, 1 hour under 60 cents. That's when I want to start looking at it. Thank you. DEAI. Awesome. Good stuff, guys. Wow, is that everything? I went through everyone already. Okay. Excellent. So literally you guys know what you're doing. You don't need anything else? Anything else? Anything? Okay, well, I'll jump into some other ones. What else? Oh no, I literally did everything. Oh, Mavia. Oh no, I did Mavia already. Myro. Myro is the other M name that I'm running on my secondary. This one just pushed a high. I'm tracking it on my secondary a little bit. And this one also like cleared this range. Even the daily close here, also super bullish. Not gonna close it quite yet on my secondary. I didn't actually call this one out live, but I did take it on myself on my my secondary account. But we invalidated this range. We made another high, two other highs. So now, if anything, I'm going to be looking for the reconsolidation here. We can flip from here. Again, the same thing. It's not going to be too much of a retrace because we could just do this. Again, based on the weekly closure, we're already above previous range balance at the yellow purple. So based on the daily and the weekly closes here, we don't need to actually retrace. It's just like everything, like every single chart, as I was telling you guys, literally every single chart is like, okay, we either go down a little bit more or we go down a little bit more than more, and then we pump like crazy, right? This is one of those that's gonna do the same thing. Yeah, I mean, I think with this, I'll probably just um, keep watching it. I want to see some sort of consolidation here. If we push up and then start to clear 30 cents and then close, if we close dailies above 30 cents, then I'll take a market entry on my main. If not, if we sweep the lows, which is, I don't know, slightly less likely here, maybe a 25 cent ad would be really nice. But again, I'm staying neutral on most things until I can see more range. So I want to see more range on my row here now that we cleared the high. I'd expect it though to take this high one more time before retracing again later in the year. So like December, right? That'll be the next entry sometime near the end of the year. Because this is a monthly and a weekly push, we're going to be taking this weekly candle, right? If this weekly candle closes anywhere above purple, which we're already above, it's going to take the high first, right? So if we do that, then the next weekly will be the retest of this range, and we're going to be inverting 26 cents. So it's going to basically go like that, right? So either way, it'll give us a new entry. So not too worried about that one. So I'll just keep that in the tool belt for later. Beautiful. Any other requests? Oh, now I'm seeing requests. What else? Anti. Wow, you guys must be deep in anti. Okay. I'll use the spot chart here. I think I had this mapped up a little bit already, but this range looks actually really nice. Really nice. Yes, I'll do mask and AOIZ. Yeah, same thing here, guys. This is tightening. It's coiling up. This weekly, if we can't close this week, we're flipping here. I'm going to clear everything up. Clear everything up. Right now, the invalidation right for this one would be here, which we're basically, we've retested, bounced on a few times, but now we've invalidated this one. The main thing was we invalidated this one, right? So the next weekly is going to be the draw, and I'm not seeing any other weeklies here. So maybe the daily. Yeah, still nothing. Still nothing. Maybe up here. Maybe here actually. Yeah, that'll be the next one. So basically the same thing here, right? We retest this and then just go straight up here and then possibly then continue building the range, right? Little bit lower. We flipped. What is this daily here? Oh yeah, no, structurally everything is good because look, this already swept and then we now have a higher low already, right? Look at that, higher low structurally from here, right? And then if we can hold this range and continue to hold it, then the next draw would be 52052. And impulse here would be the question whether or not this is impulsive and pushes past it or it rejects from it, right? But that would be the next level from there. I'll do AOIZ and then yes mask, and then I think I'll call it from there. I think that's all I have from here. So from here, oh look at that, I have AOIZ already. Beautiful. I don't need to do anything. It's already charted for me. Bullish consolidation here too, right? We want to sweep this daily, and it's already pathing as expected. We want to consolidate this week, do some pullback, right? We want to mitigate this. If anything, what I want to do is I'll put in a 1 hour. I'll put a 1 hour from this range. Right, 1 hour from this range, right there. And I'll put this on the hourly. right there. We flip this. Oh my goodness, guys. This is another one that's going to basically just go straight up, right? We do this. Reconsolidate here, bounce, and then just go straight up from there. So I'll leave that as my new bias. We need to mitigate that. Another higher low here. And then I'll put an alert. Actually, really the only thing I need is this here. So 1 hour close under 36. AOIZ. Oh wow, I'm just typing wrong. AOIZ. Long entry under 36 cents. Yeah, cool. I'll have it alert me. If I'm around, I'll take it. But it's that one looks good too. It's probably not going to be straight up, you know, but it'd probably be something like this, right? And yeah, cool. Mask. Oh, Hari, sneaking one in on me. Perfect. So, oh, I just typed that in wrong again. Mask. Here we go. Daily. Interesting. Oh wow, this is actually I have funny. I have stuff from like way back in 2024. I was trading mask back in 2024. So yeah, here's our range. That was the weekly. Monthly, what do we have? Nothing. Weekly, we don't have anything. We have one up here. 170. Next range high, and then the gap for the inversion, which is probably going to be the draw, assuming this holds. But again, this one I do not like. It's okay. It's okay. What's the weekly have? Oh yeah, here we go. This is a little better. Put this in. So we have 2 ranges here, 3 ranges here, quadruple or triple, yeah, triple. So basically then I would expect, this is the same thing, everything, exactly the same thing, guys. This is like, literally, we could wick these. I would expect this low to hold, maybe, actually, shoot. This is a flat on the daily. That's a flat on the daily. Ooh, yeah. This is a little iffy. The daily could really mess around with us here. I'm gonna say neutral. I'm gonna say assuming we consolidate here, this is like a weekly candle I do not want to mess with, because if we happen to consolidate and then close under any of these, then it's going to go straight for this first, like that, with a very impulsive wick. This weekly here is still printing, and we just opened, so I personally wouldn't touch mask here yet. This is danger zone, because this never was swept on the daily. That level was never swept on the daily. So really, what I could see is the same thing as many others, and this is also relative equal down here. This is danger zone, right? This weekly candle could do a lot of damage here, guys. Really, the only safe stop loss is under $1. This daily here is rebalanced, or the weekly is rebalanced. So we have equal lows, a flat on the daily, and now if this closes on any day under 1.3, then what'll end up happening is this weekly is going to play out and wick down all the way to close above, right? This chart is just not, I'm not feeling it. The only way this would work is if this week we went nowhere. If we consolidated and did absolutely nothing here, like this, and then stayed above 1.3, then I'd be bullish. But for now, I am not touching mask. This structure is just not clean enough, and this range is too wide, right? There's too much landmines here. There's a daily flat, and then there's a quadruple equal low here. This wick is going to be very, very aggressive. to take all that liquidity. If anything, what I would probably do is I would set limits on these levels instead and wait till they hit, because either they don't hit and whatever, fine, it runs up a little bit more, then you can just take something else, right? Or they hit on a wick and you go immediately into profits, right? And honestly, this would probably be the structure I would run this from if I was to run this. But personally, I don't really. It's still a little messy here, but like if I was to take it, I would probably want to do this and then range it from here. But the weird thing about this structure is this is an incredibly bearish daily SMR here. Look at that. We swept those lows. So even if we pumped from this range, the max it'll do is like, $2.50. And then it's going to basically just wick down again really heavily. So this is not a very clean structure. I mean, it's going to be one of those things that, we wick down very heavily after, reconsolidate again, and then possibly make another run for it. But right where we are now, a little too iffy. I do not like the smooth liquidity that I'm seeing here all through on the daily, and the flat on the daily that's unopened, and the quadruple equal low, relative equal low that's open right here. So mask is a little iffy there. Fourth, last one. Harry, you snuck this in, and then we will go from there. Fourth, let's see, what do we got on fourth? Weekly. Yes, cool. This is a little weird. It's really been fighting over this poi right at 3.8, right? Right here at yellow. We swept those lows, reconsolidated, closed above. Slightly bullish. Not much open IRL liquidity. It's probably just going for this range then on the weekly. No, that's still, I don't know. This one's weird. This monthly was invalidated. I'd have to say, like, really the only thing that you would want is 3.35 here to close above. I probably wouldn't take it until we close above 3.5 on the monthly. But until then, this looks like slightly more bullish. Here, let me just go through the daily again. Yeah, slightly more bullish. We need to close above this high. We're a little reconsolidating right now, but again, it's flipped this range. So really, I would expect to do something like this, right? Yeah, slightly bullish here. Little messy, but slightly bullish. I would expect that to be broken, and then this one to be broken. If we can actually then close above the monthly here, that would be a monthly flip as well. But yeah, slightly a little strange on the range here. But I do like it bullish wise, right? We do have a good structure, at least on the lower time frames here, to push to like this high, right at the 3.5 and 4. But then after that, it's just it's like too messy on the lower time frames to get anything from. The daily doesn't have anything open at all. Actually, maybe, oh, it does up here. One tiny one. Oh yeah, 6.6. Actually, yeah. So that would really be the spot to look for. So here, let me just go from here instead, right? So it'd be like draw would be 1, 2, and then 3, and then possible rejection from there. Overall, pretty good though. Overall, pretty good. I like this. You could probably scalp this pretty nicely too, actually. So good find. Awesome. Well, that about ends it for me. I have to run, but thank you all for joining. I will post the recording on my YouTube, and feel free to check it out. I'll post it as well later. And yeah, stay green. Remember, Monday range is important. And yeah, stay green. Catch you later. Have a good one.